And I said, get away from here. He had beautiful hair.
That's right. Funky drummer drumming. Creed will be here momentarily. He didn't know we were jumping on a few minutes early because we have a case about to start and we don't want to miss it. It is live. We can't pause it and those kinds of great things. So wanted to make sure I'm still getting over this cold. Please give me a minute. Want to make sure that we didn't miss a thing. Everybody's getting sworn in, talking to the attorneys and whatnot. Please do us a huge favor. Like the video if you haven't done so already, because without your likes, without your comments and things of that nature, it doesn't get us anywhere. So we'd appreciate if you did that. Take care of that now. And ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls,
not the order should be reissued.
The world's slowest
I am going
judge.
to reissue the order, but I'm only issuing it for 1 more year. After that, your daughter would need to petition.
Oh my God, this guy.
If there's been further contact.
Okay.
She'll be 18 by then, and this would
be.
be.
Could you add on this order? Are you able to make an amendment on this order? Because we wanted him to stop communicating with a third party, her friends, her cousins, and ask about Alex.
Under the terms of the existing order, any contact would already not be allowed.
It's a violation already.
So if there has been contact, that is already something that would need to be dealt with in another fashion. Just to make sure before I fill this order out, Mr. Jepson.
Terminator, good to see you.
Just want to make certain that I did hear correctly that you are not contesting entry of a reissuance, just the length of time. Is that correct?
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Oh, well, they're going to do that. Yes, please, because if not, we wouldn't have anything to watch on. We got to chase. So yes, recording. I always want recordings. Good morning, Mystic. So it looks like this one is going to be a quickie, but this is the first of hopefully many cases we've got.
Since this is going to be effective for a year and my daughter turns 18 this year, can we, how does it work? When she turns 18 this year, we can request for a protection order again, or do we have to wait until the protection order expires or prior to expiration?
I can't give you legal advice. Once someone is 18, they are able to petition for a protection order, all on their own.
Jojo, good to see you. Yeah, they're trying to get they want a lifetime ban against this guy, and I don't think they're going to get it. Like you said, once the child turns 18, that's going to be a whole new ball game. Then if she still doesn't want them coming around, it becomes a whole new thing, I think. Oh, look, there's Creed, everybody. Creed. Didn't want to miss a thing. Like I believe it was Aerosmith that quoted that.
One more question, Your Honor. When he connected with my niece, Alex's cousin, in March of this year, when I called the sheriff had said that my niece is not on the protection order and therefore I could not report that, or they could not take that record. And this is why I was asking if you could add it on the protection order that he stopped connecting with the third party, Alex's friends and family.
No connecting with friends and family, Creed. I know that was a huge selling point for some long distance providers.
Yeah, I was going to say, I heard a lot of commercials about that.
Your Honor, I do believe that order already prohibits third party contact. I can also tell the court the criminal case the criminal prosecutor, I represent Mr. Longino in the criminal case. We're all very aware of that contact.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you. This is a weird one. They wanted like almost a lifetime ban against this man and the kid's about to turn 18.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Nah.
But yeah, it's been hopefully everybody had a great weekend, Creed. I know you enjoyed a little rest and relaxation.
Oh, you have no idea what kind of weekend that we have had. Our hell continues. I'll tell you during the I want to enjoy court today. I'll tell you, and
Keep the bad vibes out,
me-
Daddy.
let me just say, glad my wife is alive.
Oh my God.
Yeah. It's been
I hope it had nothing to do with the boating.
she didn't make it on the boat.
Oh my gosh.
What are we doing here? Are we...
So we came to court and they were going to do this whole lifetime ban, I guess, against this guy. And his attorney, this guy over here, said, look, the kid's about to turn 18. Can we do it till the kid turns 18 and then they can figure it out? If so, we'll agree to that right now.
Oh.
So instead of ripping into the case like they were about to, they said, okay, we'll go ahead and take that till 18.
Okay.
And so they're knocking this out. They're the first. We spent an entire hour of people who only had one party show up. It's an entire hour we spent. This guy right here, you talking about slow? Woo, daddy, you ain't seen nothing till you seen this guy fill out
Okay,
paperwork.
I have issued, or I've signed rather, the order renewing the previous protection order. The terms remain exactly the same. All I've done is
Rich.
authorize it for one more year. And yes, that does include
Friends and family.
contact through third parties or in any other manner, actually.
Paging and
So
ordering DoorDash for them.
Maybe
you
one of
will be
those
able,
skywriting airplanes.
no further service of this is necessary since we have counsel here for Mr. Longino.
Whoa. Easy,
What,
bud.
Longina?
Be able, however, if
Mr.
you wish to have a
Longino.
copy, to get a copy either from the court or off the court's website with the case number. Just go to the Thurston County District Court. One of the drop-down menus has records requests. You just find your way through the menu and you'll be able to get to that. May take a day or two to get it in the court file, but after that, it would be accessible to anybody with.
This
the
judge
case.
seems like a real great guy to party with.
Okay, that will be it for this morning.
Yes, life of the party.
Thank
All right.
you.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Thank you.
Again, this goes along with every different court, every different judge. They all have their own
Even
character, their own.
Early and Ksenia Efremova.
We are
He's
here,
really,
Your Honor.
he's really good at
Good
names,
morning.
by the way.
Good morning. Did I pronounce that even halfway correctly?
It's Ksenia, like the country Kenya with an S, Ksenia Yefremova. So yes, you did good.
Okay.
Feeling better.
All right. And David Stein.
Where's David at? Come on in, David. Don't be shy.
Yes, yes, Your Honor, I'm here.
Okay. Good morning.
Is that art behind him?
Do the petitioners
Artista.
still wish to have a full order?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. And Mr. Stein.
Does this guy
are you
cosplay as
opposed
Captain Party
to that
Beard? Look at
order?
his hats hanging on the wall behind him.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Big fan, big fan of Captain Party Beard.
Okay. So what I'm going to do is I am going to
Gary!
have all of you raise your right hands.
Thanks.
Thank you. Do you
Old
and
man
each
Creed.
of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth.
Oh man, Creed
and
has a
nothing but the
massive
truth?
hand,
Yes.
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 like 2 or 3
Okay,
hands.
I heard from
They
all
say about
three
big
of you.
hands.
Thank you.
Yeah, big gloves.
All right. Petitioners, this is your request. And although I did review the petition, I need to hear from you, because you are here, the basis for the proposed order. And
Neighbors, I'm guessing, maybe.
really, although we do need
I don't
to
think
keep it
lovers.
reasonably short, anything that you want to make sure I'm aware of, especially if it didn't make it into the petition. And then we'll turn to Mr. Stein and we'll hear his version, and I'll make my decision. I may or may not allow rebuttal comments. Given that we have some time, I probably will if necessary. But I know it's not easy when I'm saying let's keep it short, but tell me everything I need to know. We don't have unlimited time, so I don't get to hear the entire history and everything. In fact, frequently I would be limiting this to 5 minutes per side, but we had so
There
many
he
that
is,
were,
Captain Party Beard, everybody.
able to be resolved at the
Ladies'
beginning.
man.
We have a little more time
Look at that.
than we sometimes do.
This right here. He can do a
Okay.
court show.
He does
I
one.
don't know which of the petitioners wishes to take the
Court with the
lead
captain.
here. I can hear from one of you. I can hear from both of you. I will let you direct what you think is the most efficient path. for me
Ahoy
to
there,
hear your
mateys.
side.
Thank you, Your Honor. I have testimony that I believe will take just about 5 minutes, and then Ksenia will say something quick. Thank you, Your Honor, for taking the time to hear our petition.
Oh no, he's reading from a
Ksenia
script.
and I are both state workers who bought our first home in Olympia in 2020. We felt truly lucky to find the house we bought, which was in a good neighborhood, and we're excited about the chickens that came with the house. The chickens had been there for years, and our neighbors,
Oh, no.
Mr. Stein and his wife,
The
were encouraging of
chickens.
the flock. We would take care of each other's chickens, and they even asked us to take in several of their family members' chickens. We now have a total of 3 chickens. Wanting to
You guys are
expand our
lucky at
family,
50.
we got a Great Pyrenees puppy, Apollo, in the spring of 2021. We had a good relationship with Allie, who is Mr. Stein's wife, and on occasion, she would tell us that Apollo was being too loud. When this happened, we would bring him inside. Ksenia and I both work from home and start work at 7 in the morning. It is not difficult for us to monitor and control his behavior. Late spring and early summer of 2022, my wife received several text messages from Mr. Stein, with whom we had previously little interaction. He expressed his displeasure at our dog and occasionally also our chickens. Around this time, Mr. Stein started coming around our house, although we did not often have a chance to talk to him in person. He would pound on our windows and then leave. Over the next couple of weeks, we continued to try to reduce the noise from our pets. We woke up before sunrise to take Apollo on walks. We reduced his access to his dog door in the backyard, and we closed the windows to our house. We also started being more diligent about opening our coop door early in the morning.
Coop door.
On July 19th, David texted my wife at 5:35 a.m. saying, "Let the chickens out now." Later that morning, David came over to our house very angry and told us that we had 2 weeks to move our chicken coop while he was on vacation. This interaction surprised and concerned me, so I reached out to his wife via text message. She was apologetic and said,
Went
"I
straight to
was
the
just
wife.
about to message you two as well. David told me about talking to you and basically issuing an ultimatum, which is something he does at times. I don't agree that he can dictate the solution. I know you two have been trying, but David doesn't feel that way anymore. I'm so sorry this has become an issue." Our relationship with both David and his wife deteriorated during the first week of August after they came back from their 2-week vacation.
Where'd it
Twice,
go?
my wife received text messages from Allie about Apollo's barking, one at 5:30 in the morning and one at 9:41. On both of these occasions, Apollo was inside our bedroom with us and barked only a few times at a strange noise. At this point, Ksenia blocked their numbers because it did not appear their efforts to control the noise were being recognized and the expectations were becoming unreasonable. David and Allie both still had my phone number and were able to communicate with me via text message, yet they generally chose not to. The next month, in late September, we discovered that the rope attaching the door to our chicken coop was severed. We did not connect this to Mr. Stein, and we repaired it without thinking that it had torn. On September 22nd, we found the same rope had been cut and the door was missing. I texted Allie to say I was concerned about David's behavior and asked to talk to her.
Did he think one
She
of the chickens
declined to
had a
get involved
knife?
and instead sent David over to our house.
I do not.
We met him in our yard. My wife explained to Mr. Stein that we sympathized with him and that we'd been trying our best to let the chickens out early in the morning, but that we needed a door for protection. We had prior experience with one of our chickens being attacked by a raccoon and had seen a fox a few blocks from the house the day before.
Oh, no.
When my wife stopped talking, Mr. Stein simply told her that he did not care about our apology. He proceeded to say many condescending things about us, that we were terrible people, terrible neighbors, and that we needed training. Afterward, I texted David and asked him to return our chicken door to us, to which he replied, "So you can decide when I wake up tomorrow?" Feeling helpless and at an impasse, we filed a police report on September 26th. At that point, we also received more information about protection orders from the police officer who helped us. Ultimately, we held on to the hope that we would not need to do this, and thankfully, through the winter months, we stopped hearing from David. At this point, we felt like we had a good system in place. We had a door for the chicken coop that opened automatically in the morning, and Apollo had matured and was easier to manage. On March 14th, 2023, David came to our house 3 times to once again complain about our dog. The final time, my wife answered the door alone while I was standing in the kitchen. We were making dinner, having just come home with the dogs about 10 minutes prior. David did not back away from the doorway when talking to my wife, standing mere inches from her. He said that he was trying to eat dinner and was bothered by our dog's constant barking. When my wife explained that this could not be the case since we had just come home, he got angry and said that we were so used to his barking that we could not hear it anymore. My wife told him to stop harassing her, and as I started to make my way to the doorway, David told her to fuck off and left. 2 days later, on Thursday, March 16th, we were again making dinner when we noticed David standing outside our door. We could see each other, and it was clear we did not want to talk to him, but he refused to leave. Once again, my wife came to the door, and once again, David stood over her. He said, "Thank you for dealing with it," and left. We do not know what this means, and it confused us. On April 11th, I found David in front of our house when I was returning from walking our dogs. David was agitated and told me the chickens were bothering him. I apologized and told him that we got an automatic door to reduce the noise the chickens made, and I would adjust it to open earlier.
Automatic
He
door
looked angry and left.
on the chicken house.
Despite this conversation and the adjustments to the coop door, between April 14th and April 20th, he came to our door 4 more mornings. The final time, we found him waiting for us in our yard as we were returning from our first dog walk. David was very angry and said, "If you don't deal with the chickens, then I will." We interpreted this as a threat to our chickens, and I said, "If you kill our chickens, then you are going to jail." He then said, "Fuck off," and returned to his house. Since we filed a petition for this order 4 weeks ago, we have completed a new coop in the back corner of our yard, so the chickens are farther away from the neighbor's bedroom window. We moved the chickens into their new home last Monday. On Friday, we received a text message from Mr. Stein's wife indicating that chickens were still too loud.
No.
As I said previously, we feel sympathy for Mr. Stein and do not want to upset his lifestyle. However, David's decision to continue to confront us at our own home without any prior warning, issue ultimatums and threats, coupled with his prior vandalism and theft of our property, have left us with no choice but to ask for help. He demonstrates cyclical and escalating patterns of behavior that are making us feel psychologically and physically unsafe. We don't know what else we can do to placate him, and we want to feel safe in our home.
Your Honor, if I just have 1 minute, I would like to say that I experienced a lot of anxiety in making this step and taking this decision to petition for a protection order. I have no prior experience with the legal system. However, the anxiety that my neighbor's behavior instills in me far outweighs this. David has decided that it's acceptable to come to our house, to pound on our windows and the front door, to use disparaging language when speaking with us, curse at us. Like my husband described, he cornered me in my own doorway back in March. He has vandalized and stolen our property, and now he's threatening our pets. And that, I hardly know Mr. Stein. I've had little interaction with him, but what I do know about him is what is resulting in me filing and my husband filing this petition to protect our pets and to help us feel safe in our own home.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Yeah, David, let's hear it.
Thank you.
I want to know how you can be
Sir,
cornered in your own doorway,
you
number
may
one. And number two,
Change this answer once we
I
hear
wanna
the
hear
other
about the
side, but is
theft,
there
what
anything
he
else you'd
stole.
like me to consider?
allegedly.
No, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
Is he going to say
Mr.
this? Is it
Stein,
over
it is
chickens? Let's see her.
Your turn. Let's hear what you have to say.
Thank you, Your Honor. I've never approached Ksenia or Stephen other than to ask for relief from the noise nuisance
wife?
on their pets.
Little
We are
And
neighbors,
relief.
and I would never harm them or their animals. I have tended to their chickens on many occasions. In the past year, more than a year, I've logged over 50 incidences of dogs and chickens disturbing and are waking us.
Does he write a journal?
Last year around
It's a book. It's coming out.
July
this spring.
19th, I was invited by them to meet and talk about the issue. And this is on a text on page 7. And I volunteered at that point to help move the chicken house to the backyard.
Hello, hello.
And they chose not to move the chicken house at that time, which is about 12 feet from my bedroom window. They can open the door to their chicken house with a rope by reaching outside their bathroom window.
What?
And that's how the house was built by
It's
the
like Pee Wee's
neighbors
Playhouse. He pulls a
prior
rope
to
from
them.
inside and chickens come out.
They do not open the chicken door until well after sunrise. So the chickens are trapped inside, making constant noise to be let out. And this is what wakes us. They say they don't hear the noise, and they recently suggested that I get a fan to run in my bedroom to mask the noise, indicating that, again, the noise is my problem.
I get one of those
They
machines.
stopped responding to our
White
texts
noise machine.
last year around August. After many text conversations that were polite,
Oh, he's a nail
I
biter.
lodged a complaint with Animal Services, and I spoke with the Olympia Police Department twice. And they said there was really nothing they could do, that I needed to talk to the neighbors. Last year, on an early morning, I did go and pull the door off the chicken house out of frustration.
Like the Hulk.
Every morning that I knocked on the door or banged on their window, it was at a time early after I was awakened by the chickens.
Banging.
These were times that they failed to open the chicken house door.
He's admitted. He's
Other
admitted.
times, during the day and the evenings, I would knock in response to the incessant dog barking,
Knock a little louder,
often
sugar.
barking for hours at a time. The
Bang,
noise
bang, bang on the door,
nuisance
baby.
is due to either the chickens being locked in the house or the dog barking incessantly in their backyard. It's a very big dog and a very loud bark. When the dog barks for hours at a time, it is hard to focus on anything like reading in my own home. On multiple occasions, the dogs were closed up in their car in the alley behind their house, and the dogs were still barking, and we could hear it in our house.
What?
I find it very sad that people lock their animals in cars.
She's rolling her eyes.
We have not been able to enjoy our garden or have meals in our own backyard
Especially
for
eating
most
chicken.
of last year
Mm-hmm.
because of the incessant aggressive barking dogs. When they leave their house,
It's a real
their
nail
dog
biter.
barks until they return.
The toe tapper and a knee slapper.
You can see page 2 of my text of logging this. This
called
noise
vlogging.
nuisance that they have created has been unhealthy, stressful, and the lack of sleep has been damaging to me.
Ragu monkey.
On occasion, I became angry and used language that was unkind,
Ooh.
and I am sorry for that.
I think the chickens.
I'm not a violent person.
Maybe I'm wrong.
This noise nuisance continues to this day.
The dog's name is
Like
Clifford,
last
by the
year,
way.
and again this year, the noise of the chickens wanting to be let out of the house will continue to start earlier and earlier every day as the days get longer and they don't open the door.
Yes.
Oh my goodness.
My neighbors continue to take their walks through our front yard on the sidewalk on a regular basis, seemingly without need of protection from me.
I like that
That's all I
idea.
have at this time.
I like that idea right there. Some strange ass sounds or some terrible
Yeah.
music.
Any?
Or just our show.
rebuttal comments?
Us, yeah.
Just our voices. Enough to
Thank you,
run
Your
them off.
Honor. There are two things I would like to clarify about our perspective on the situation. The first is we do not recall Mr. Stein offering to help us move the coop. In fact, the coop is too large to be moved. There's no, with the way the plants and the fence are, there's no way to move it, which I think can be sort of demonstrated by the fact we built a new coop, which is a lot more work than moving it. The second is about Apollo, our dog, being in the car. In the months when it's cooler, he likes to nap in there. Sometimes it's a place he likes to, we put him out there when he's having trouble settling down, and we'll keep him in the car for a few hours, again, because he falls asleep.
Gross.
If we hear him barking or if he seems agitated, again, we work from home, and we let him out. Thank you.
Keep the dog out of the car. It's just
Okay.
nasty.
Anything, excuse me, anything further, Mr. Stein?
No, that's all I have at the moment. Thank you.
All right, Judge Kevin
Okay.
Spacey, let's see what you got.
Oh, it's
Your
gonna take a
Honor,
while.
if I may add, I would like to say that we did talk to Animal Services when we found out that someone had complained about our dogs being in our car. And we just explained the situation to them that, like my husband said, sometimes in the winter months, our dog finds it really calming in there, and he just falls asleep in there. And we had no further contact with Animal Services because they understood the situation.
Well, it's not like we're in Florida with a hot car.
No. I just wish Steven would put one of those hats on, man. God.
Me too. Bite his nails, double banger.
I'm going to start by saying whether or not I issue an order, you folks are neighbors, and really, that means a couple different things. It may
And a dog.
need to be trying to work together to solve problems, but it also means that you feel, and this is both
Call.
sides, you
Kick in the window.
feel attacked
Cop, bad
in your
cop.
own home when someone does something. Even if they don't intend harm, the safety and peace of your household is disrupted.
That's the dog's car, Your Honor. He
That
owns the car.
is not something that an order is going to fix. I can issue an order telling Mr. Stein to stay on his own property. But I have not heard, although I have heard some actions that I would find disturbing, and I think a reasonable person
Carl, I
would
think you're right.
find disturbing. I have not heard anything that is intended or designed to be harassing. I have heard things that might support a nuisance lawsuit. I am
Oh, that's
not
a long
going to
pause there.
issue
That was a
an
big
order
one.
today.
I stroked out. For
I
a second.
am going to say for both sides, you are probably each going to be there for the long term, at least likely. Try to patch up the neighborly relationship. Mr. Stein, they did move the chickens. I understand that may not be
Try.
enough.
Thank you, Kate.
We do have here in Thurston County the Dispute Resolution Center.
What?
I think that might be a really good way for each of you to be able to find a way to work through this, find a way that you can return
It's taken up his
to
5
what
minutes.
sounds like originally a good relationship.
I like
I
that idea and give it to David
understand
to zap the dog.
barking
Yeah.
dogs, being awakened early in the morning.
Away from his back
It
window.
makes it difficult
Too close to his
to
bedroom,
think
peeking in the window.
clearly and to enjoy your own home. That doesn't mean going and pounding on the neighbor's door. There has to be another way to work this out. I will not deny the ability to refile this in the
Old school
future.
duel.
But at the moment, I am not hearing enough to believe that harassment is intended or even being negligently caused. What I am hearing is that each side has concerns and you are wanting to protect your personal sanctity, your safety.
Win Ben Stein's money.
Bueller.
At least try. And you probably are
Bueller.
saying to yourselves, we have tried, Judge.
Bueller.
Give it
Bueller.
another try. I'm issuing a denial order today. Try to contact Dispute Resolution, the Dispute Resolution Center. That is the name of the organization.
Try.
See if maybe this can be mediated out. See what maybe you can do to help each other not have these issues. Mr. Stein, maybe think about what could be done so that they don't feel threatened and so that you will be able to sleep.
This guy.
Ms. Efremova and Mr. Early, same thing.
Are they not married?
Before you even contact dispute resolution, maybe think about what could be done to help Apollo bark less.
Have a talk with
Or to get the
Apollo.
chickens out earlier, an automatic door. I don't know how it's functioning, if it's on a
Take it to the
timer,
dog
I don't know
psychiatrist.
any of that, but that actually might be a good resolution. Moving the chicken coop was a
Shock
great,
collars for the chicken.
step. Whether you remembered him making that offer or not, whether it was even made or not.
0.0.
Ahead and making it does show that you are trying to take steps to allow him to get some sleep. As I said, I won't be denying the ability to file a future order, but there are things that I have to hear in order to issue an order. And although I did hear aggravation on both sides, I didn't hear intentional harassment. Mr. Stein going over early in the morning, even though you were awakened, that's starting to come close to what I would need to hear. And now that you know how much it bothers them, potentially could form the basis for an order later. So just giving you a warning there that it didn't sound like it rose to it at this point.
I need you guys to do 5 minutes each so I can do 40 minutes to wrap this up.
Yeah. Giving you 5
okay.
minutes.
Because
Okay, so we
here, both sides, we don't need to have any
I see no problem here.
Service of this order, but you can each get a copy of it off the court's website or by contacting the court. And again, please try to work this out.
Now.
Your neighbors.
Now.
You potentially are going to be next to each other for a very long time. And having good neighbors.
State Farm is there.
Increase the peacefulness of a.
There you go, Judge.
You got it now.
Having bad neighbors really can feel like
money grubbing bastards.
Even if it's not intended.
State Farm is there.
I don't know whether or not this was intended to be. I didn't hear enough to make me think it was anything was intended.
Love to hear
as
that,
a
Caroline.
Personal attack.
I mean,
when you're dealing with
not
neighbors'
that you're in a bad
tensions
place.
and
Right.
emotions,
The other part.
can escalate really quickly. And
Oh, that says Creed.
keep that in mind.
Samson. I want you all to listen to what I'm about to say. There needs to be
Peace and love. Peace and love.
I know it seems like you've run out of things, and he might have said fuck off twice, but I feel like he's a good man.
Case closed. Let's get drunk.
If anyone complains that we played sound effects during this
segment, you can fuck off.
Yeah, during this mockery of court, you've come to the wrong place. This was terrible to have to sit through and watch. I apologize. Refunds for everybody.
220 plus.
Bring in the money.
You guys are true warriors. I'm telling
My
you.
God.
Listen, nothing against the judge. Everybody has their own thing, but my God, he moves at a snail's pace.
And the way his delivery. Look, all right. Our take on this: move the freaking chickens. Keep your dog inside.
Right.
A little more, maybe.
Keep it out of the car, no matter, even if you are in the state of Washington.
Especially when you know your dog's an a-hole and he just wants to sit around barking all the time, bothering folks.
And I don't know why. Can't you just go out and buy some of that Asian bird flu or whatever, and David could kind of put it in their feed real quick? I mean, that's pretty easy poison.
3 chickens doesn't seem like. Look, that's not gonna make a lot of noise. But how about we set little guidelines? Hey, don't let the chickens out until 9 o'clock or whatever.
Seriously.
Give me enough time to wake up.
Seriously, let's go over real quick about what the judge said. Just try to get along, okay?
Just try again. I know you done tried and brought it to court, but for goodness sake, try again. You got this.
I'm sorry if I had a neighbor that continually
Okay,
knocked
no
on my
further
window,
hearing is being scheduled at this time. There's
with
no
banging
further
on my door.
service that's
Yes.
needed. And I am signing the order now.
Do you think when he gets really mad, he's the same monotone way?
Could you imagine his dirty talk?
I understand.
You do it the way I like.
You are probably disappointed in my decision,
Yes.
but I have made what I believe to be the legally correct decision. You can appeal my decision if you wish.
Denied.
But I strongly urge trying to work something out.
There might be other people
So
that were
that
waiting to see this judge, but they
hopefully
died
you
waiting.
Both or all three.
That just knocked out and said,
be able
I'll take
to
whatever I get. I don't care.
return to
I'll come back
some
when the other judge is here.
sense of safety.
Yeah, not even a flock.
and,
Just 3
peacefulness
chickens.
in your own homes.
Judge, ask them why they're not
Thank you, Your
married.
Honor.
Yes, please. My God, that would be the best part of this entire thing is having him explain any of that.
Your Honor, David should come in. Your Honor, these two living in
I've
sin
signed
has
that
just
order.
drove me
That'll
to
be
the
it for
edge.
Today.
I like that
Ms.
Ms. Stein wanted nothing to do with this.
Or get a copy off the court's website.
And she must be the nice one because
with
remember
the case
that
number.
any problems, they just call her.
If you
Thank you, Your
please.
Honor.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I can only see
Have a
Mr.
good
Stein,
morning.
like the
You
lady
too.
the other
Thank
day
you.
with the guy that was going off in the van. You know, they got pulled over.
Oh,
and then
God,
we
yeah.
got chased. I can just see her.
Okay,
you know.
that takes us to
Bye, David.
Kazara Brunson and Samuel Sims.
Samuel Sims.
Good morning. Thank you.
You
for your
guys neighbors with
patience.
chickens
We'll
also,
do the
or
other cases.
Samuel Sims owns 47 chickens.
Kazara Brunson, do you still
wish he was here
wish to
today.
proceed with protection order?
Yes.
And Samuel Sims, are you opposed? to
after
an
that
order?
last one, I need a stiff drink and a
Yes.
check of traffic. I'll be right back.
Go ahead.
Okay.
We'll be waiting.
All right.
All right, let's see what you got.
I did review the petition, but this is going to go essentially the same way as the last one, as the last hearing did, at least as far as procedure. I will swear you both in, and Ms. Brunson, you can provide your testimony. Mr. Sims, you'll provide your testimony, and then I'll make a decision. We do have a little bit of time since this is the last case on this morning,
Oh,
but if you take
perfect.
too long, it's just going to
Piss me off.
not be productive. So try to keep it short, even though I reviewed all of the evidence that was presented. I need to hear from you why you want an order and why you don't want an order. Okay, raise your right hands, please.
Your other right hand.
There we go. Do you and each of you solemnly swear or affirm that the testimony you are about to give will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
All right,
Samuel missing
Ms.
teeth?
There we go. I was just going to say you were
Gosh.
still muted.
You got in a
Okay.
fight.
I did hear both of you so swear. Ms. Brunson, this is your motion. Let's hear what you would like me to consider.
In September of 2021, someone sexually assaulted me.
What?
In the
She under-
beginning, he would always like harass me by like calling my phone, pretending like he didn't know who it was. Would send like call me names by like telling me to go die, to go kill myself. With the stalking, he was always outside my house at night, like passing by my house, parked by like my mailbox, passing by my school. I caught him a couple times, like kept him watching me outside the community park where he lives, public park, like where I live, and one time in my driving school.
That's it?
Okay, is there anything further you'd like me to consider?
What?
Yeah, it's always been uncomfortable for me, like, and it made my anxiety really bad that now I'm on pills for that. So I just honestly wanted to stop and like move on with my life.
Okay.
Okay.
All right. What? What are we?
Anything additional before
He didn't
hear
mean that
Mr.
short.
Sims' version?
No, that is it.
Okay, thank you. Mr.
What?
Sims, your turn.
Your Honor, I believe that if this did happen to her, then she should get a protection order, but not against me because I did not do this. This was not me. First, we never dated. We never had sex. I had never kissed her or touched her. I had never been to her house or her school, and I've never taken pictures of her. I have never stalked her. In 2021, I didn't have a car or go to camp. And with my provisional license, I borrowed my parents' car to go to my in-person New Market classes and work. And in September of 2022, I was living in Steamboat Island with my girlfriend's family, and I did not have, excuse me, I did not have transportation to and from Lacey from Steamboat Island. Every interaction I've had with Kaisera was initiated by her. I can remember 3 times specifically. The first time when she came to my parents' house and my dad opened the door and he let me know I had a visitor. And that's when she tried to confess her love to me, and that it made me mad. I told her off. I might have even cussed at her. And the second time was when I was at the park. I was at Rainier Vista Park right near my house. I live a block away, and I was there waiting for a friend, and her and her friends had approached me. She was saying she was going to put her hands on me and slap me. So I just stood there, stood my ground, and until my friend showed up. And once he showed up, I just stopped, because when we tried to walk away, her and her friends like got it, or not really her friends, but her kept on trying to follow me. So I stood my ground saying, do not put your hands on me, do not touch me. And once my friend got there and the situation defused and we walked away, and they walked their separate way.
Is
And
this
the
guy
last
part
time,
vampire?
The third time I remember seeing her was
Teether.
The summer of 2022, when I was living at Steamboat Island. My girlfriend had dropped me off in town to hang out with my friend. We drove to Safeway to get some food at the deli, and she had appeared in the store and approached us while we were at the deli and tried to cause a scene, which made me and my friend really uncomfortable. And we had saw our friend Freddie, who works at Safeway, who's a security.
Freddie!
We had to call him over to deal with the situation because we felt uncomfortable.
Bring in Freddie.
Also,
fights with
my
the deli,
last
by the way.
previous relationships, my last 2 relationships for the past 2 years, they've been harassed by Kaisera. They've gotten numerous texts and calls trying to sabotage the relationship so she can, I don't know, so she can be with me or something. And then she found my social media and telephone number, and she started calling me, texting me and messaging me about how she loved me, and I would ask her to stop and I would block the number. And every time I would block it, she would get a new number to call me on. And
Who's the stalker?
That's it. That's all I have to say.
Okay.
Oh, this is
Ms.
a good one.
Brunson, I'll hear from you again in just a moment.
She was losing it over there for a second, and I can't wait to see what's going on here.
Yeah, she was. Judge says nothing about all the laughing and the facial expressions and all that. He sat there stoic
I want
during
to take a
her
look at,
20-second thing.
okay.
Right now, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say I'm on
All
his
right.
side. At the
Ms.
moment.
Brunson, do you have any
She better come with
response,
something.
any
Yes,
rebuttal?
Your Honor. Didn't you say the whole point of this was like to raise our right hand and tell the truth?
What?
Now she's a lawyer now.
Each
So why are
side
you sorry?
earned-
So yeah. So why are you lying? Okay, we don't start from the day he said at the store, right? And he was so called his girlfriend. First of all, I was with my friends and my friend and my sister, and they can tell you themselves that what exactly happened. I was on my way to Safeway with my friends, and I saw him in the car. He turns around, calls me a bitch, and then stick his middle finger at me. So when I get to the store, yes, I go off on him because it was like, what was the reason? I didn't say anything to you. And then he wants to act like he's the victim. 2, we did have sex twice. One time in like 2001, that was like the last week of school. I lost my virginity to him. He took that. The second time, we were together. We were talking, like we were together. He picked me up in his mom's car and we went to like this wooded area and we had sex. So I don't know why you lying about that.
Sex in the woods in 2001?
Wooded area
with his
sex.
girlfriend, I was literally
Nice.
when I went to his house, a friend told me that he kissed her and she wanted to go confront him. So yes, I did indeed go to his house to confront him. And the stuff about the park, yeah, I did say that I would slap him.
You judge his face.
But the other stuff that he was just been making up stuff this whole time. But that's simple.
But that's
he's just lying, John. He's a liar.
When I contact his girlfriend, it was about him
I feel
cheating.
like we're in a principal's office.
Come to find out for him, the last time we talked, he told me himself that he slept with all my friends, and that he also did indeed cheat on his girlfriend. He admitted that to me, and I was just looking out for her. But
whatever.
She's like so dismissive. Like this is teen mom court.
Yeah, that's what I said. I feel like we're at the principal's office.
Okay, anything further you'd like me to consider?
I guess believe my side. Like you told us to sit here and tell the truth. So why
Believe
would I
my
sit here
side,
and lie?
Judge. That's what final instructions.
I don't have an answer for that. You have said that the other side sat there and lied.
Yes.
Why would he have done that?
Because he done it so many times.
I'm not expecting an answer.
Oh, shit.
My
That was
point is,
non-rhetorical.
I don't know either of you. I have to make a decision based on what I've heard.
Yeah.
I don't have the ability to read minds or to somehow know which person is telling me the truth and which one isn't. I just have to do my best to determine what the proper path is. And given how different your versions are, I can pretty much guarantee that one or both of you
is lying,
are going to be disappointed with the decision I make. I will be issuing an order today.
He is issuing an order? Really?
It'll be an anti-harassment order.
All that yakety smackety? What? Are you kidding me?
It will last for 1 year.
What? No.
Oh.
Where am I at? Hello, where am I?
This poor dude.
Is there going to be a plot twist? It's going to be against her? What's going on? What's happening?
And it will protect Ms. Brunson primarily because you're the one who requested the order. Realistically, what I have heard would probably support an order each direction. So what I'm going to say, in addition to the written order that I'm making, is I don't want either of you to have any contact with either side. Just each of you leave the other alone.
Is that what he's doing?
The order that was requested, it only goes one direction. But because I am telling you right here, right now, that each of you needs to leave the other one alone. Mr. Sims, if this continues, if you are the one who indeed was telling the truth, and if this continues, she has been informed that you don't wish any contact either. And so that would support, at least on the surface anyway, would support an order protecting you. You'll have to reach out and set that up if there is unwanted contact. I am saying that not because I believe one of you or the other. What I actually believe is there's a lot more going on here that I didn't hear.
HR.
I agree. Judge is right on that one. I think a
So
lot.
I'm going to issue the order as requested. But keep in mind that your actions
right
could lead to protection order the other direction. Now,
I'd have just denied them.
I do have
sent
the
'em on their
power and
way.
authority actually
Giving them a stern,
to
slow talking to
realign
it.
the parties and issue an order both directions. I'm not doing that.
She did a terrible job on her opening statement, but when she came
Awful.
back, she was throwing tons of good information
Main
out. She should
reason
have
I'm
come out
not
like
doing
that.
is I really didn't hear
Yeah, but she was throwing out information like she was fighting in the deli.
Yeah.
enough
with-
that the
Not in court.
contact was unwelcome, or at least that it was intended to harass. I did hear slightly over the threshold, slightly over the amount needed, going the other direction.
Can we get the judge to say, I was a Navy SEAL? Listen here, Gorilla Monsoon.
He said he heard over a slight. She barely said anything. The only stuff that she said is she got mad because of what he said. That's all.
Yeah.
I mean, this is.
I didn't see any stalking or harass. I mean, she's talking about the mailbox and walking to school and all this other stuff. And
He was on an island.
he was on the island.
But really, if we
is going to say that you are not to cause any physical harm, injury, assault, sexual conduct, harass, threaten, or stalk Ms. Brunson. It's also going to say that you're not to have any contact, including direct, indirect, or through third parties. So just don't contact her at all.
Just
If you
don't
see
do it.
her, go the other way.
You've already got everything you need. It sounds like maybe, I don't know. I would almost say like she's kind of jilted because,
Yes.
they did it. And he's saying they didn't do it.
I'm thinking that he took the V card and ran because he's a player.
Yeah, he's a player. He
You're
slept with all her
both out of
friends.
School now, yes?
I am, Your Honor.
I'm still in school.
So well
I'm
spoken.
sorry, could you say that again, please?
I said I'm still in school.
You're still in school?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, how about her? She didn't have the medication to deal with it. She said.
I mean, now she's doing great. Let this be said, you don't need
Ms.
front
Brenson,
teeth
do you wish
for
to
women
keep
to
your
like you.
address confidential, or do you want it listed on
Bud,
the
we'll get to
order?
that in a second.
We can listen on there, please.
Listed on the order?
Yes.
Okay, what's a good address to put on here?
4100 Shell Street.
Ah,
sorry.
4100.
I'm gonna have somebody yell at me about that.
Oh, Shell Street. It's SHALE.
SHIIIIIT.
Yeah, I'm glad people didn't do this much in high school. When I was growing up, people would have never been in school because they were getting taken to court all the time for banging them and leaving them. excuse my French.
Yeah. I might be moving soon, so
Look at his face. He started laughing.
Yes, he's laughing. I mean,
Well, this protects, as long as he doesn't know the address where you move, he wouldn't have any way to know that that's a place he needs to stay away from.
Mhm.
Yeah, that makes sense, right,
But
Kiro?
the order still says that he has to stay away from your residence. So if he finds out about where you've moved, he's not allowed to go there either, but he would have to find out about it. That doesn't mean tell him. That doesn't mean contact him. I've already said he doesn't want contact from you either. Just leave it alone. And if he shows up, it actually would probably be pretty obvious if he was showing up because you're there. So,
Your Honor, can we hear this? I've got a piece of tail lined up already with after this.
what is the zip code of your current address?
I think it's like, and I think it's 98. Hold up.
Damn it. You're supposed to keep talking.
Hold up a sec. Sorry, hold up.
He's a bad boy for life.
Daddy, chill.
Yeah, it's 98503.
Damn it. Now you talk too fast.
She's quick.
How dare you, girl? How do you not know your
Okay.
zip code, by the way? Stay in school. I'm sorry, Your Honor. Let me look on a piece of mail. I can give you that. I'm moving and shooting and missing.
No further hearings will be set. No further service is necessary because you were both here.
Listen, thank you.
It had legs.
But you can each get a copy of this order from the Thurston County Court, Thurston County District Court, or from the Thurston County District Court
Hell yeah,
website
Vaughn.
using the
Anyone else
case number
celebrating?
to look it up.
And Kiro. Well, if we had the hallelujahs ringing, we wouldn't have caught it.
Yeah.
It's now it's all your fault, guys.
Just saying. What a waste of taxpayers' money
Signed
today
that
here in this
order.
courtroom.
That'll be it
For
this morning.
real.
Each of you
I wouldn't typically say that, but
No.
what a
do
waste.
keep
said
in
a lot in the
mind
chat, but
that
today,
I've made it
yeah.
very clear that neither of you should be contacting the other.
Is this the talk?
Okay, Mr. Sims, there
This is
is an order. If you contact, it could be a criminal offense. But Ms. Brunson, if you contact him, he can request an order as well. And then if you contacted him after that, that would be a criminal offense. Okay? I've only issued it one direction for right now. What I
It's paper
heard
fan.
came pretty darn close to me issuing it both directions.
Thank you, Jerry.
I think I probably could have asked a few more questions and had enough to issue it both directions, but there was only a request one way, so I only issued it one way. That'll be it for this morning.
Mercifully.
Leave each other alone.
All right, thank you.
Oh, thank God. I want to say this. I'm glad we got a case is over because man, oh man.
Well, especially because I
judge.
think she's in high school, God, Roger Harley. I'm pretty sure. And I accidentally put that up. Sometimes, I do kind of sometimes pick and choose some of your comments. And I didn't quite read that one all the way through.
It happens.
I want to say this. Yeah, big waste. Today we do joke about that in the chat a lot. Today was it's pretty crazy. The fact that she got that is terrifying if I was Samuel, because as a few of you said in the chat, if he doesn't immediately try to go and get one against her, I still think he's screwed. I think that she ain't done. She ain't done. Hey, nothing more than she's mad at him about something, whether it is he took the V card or he was a playa and went and fooled around with some of her friends. That opening statement that she had that was, 15 seconds?
Yeah, and
nothing.
gargled and very fast talking. Yeah, of nothingness.
And then her comebacks after he threw out a bunch of facts. I was going to say this, if we dissected what he said and kind of put together a little time, we did, like in the movies or TV shows with, the big board behind you with all the, I could just see us doing some detective work. And I think that he threw out a lot of facts about where he was at certain points when she just threw a couple of small things out.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that he actually proved his case pretty well from what I heard. But apparently the judge certainly didn't see it that way. Now, one last thing I want to say about this. The judge did mention in the beginning that he had read through the entire case already. He had read through all of the paperwork. And we've said this before. It is very, very possible that there are, we'll say, some things in there that we were not privy to, and that may have showed from both sides that there was a little bit more to it than that's possible. I'm just saying. That's possible. Allegedly. But man, I'm kind of disappointed in that one, not gonna lie.
I just of all the cases we see, they want you to set the groundwork, they want you to put in the work. She didn't even have to do that. She didn't put in any work.
She did nothing. Hello Kitty here. I find that to be
oh my God,
all right.
yeah.
I find that to be right. Yeah.
We've all been teenagers before. Come on.
Yeah, she seemed very very scorned, let down, not happy with him at all.
Especially when he started out with, I've never kissed her, I've never touched her, I've never had sex with her. That was his opening statements.
That was. Man, and it's also a very scary time that with what little bit. Let's just pretend that everything that we saw is it, and there wasn't some a lot going on behind the scenes as far as the paperwork and about the case and stuff. Just from what we saw, let's hope that, because it's pretty scary if you can come in and say that amount of stuff and then go off on him in a very, very unprofessional way in court.
Bashed him big time.
And throw out some nonsense that has nothing, behind it, and still get that it's a bit scary. Just that's a little scary.
It really seemed like, I'm not saying the judge didn't take it seriously, but it's a very serious thing. We talk about this all the time, that you get one of those against you. That affects you down the road. That affects you, people look at that when you're going to get an apartment or you're going to apply for any jobs.
Yeah, they could see that easily.
That's definitely, it takes very little digging to see that.
Yeah, we say that quite often, and we sometimes tend to forget how serious it is to have something like that against you. Because again, it was court ordered. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just like something. It's like, oh, I got charged with this. Well, there's always that. Like, if somebody got charged with something, you could always go back and look and but man, when it comes down to that, man, that's serious stuff. Anyways, so yes, Judge Boyd's flowers. By the way, the pink ones back there, I like them. Very simple.
Those are orchids, right?
She's got a lot going on today.
So do we, by the way. We got a chase 405. Make sure you're there for that mini chase Monday. Man, we're going to see some wacky and weird stuff. People crashing into cemeteries, police holding on to the hoods of cars while cars are flying down the road.
All right.
A gun point, by the way, PP point. Lots of great stuff, as well as we got to chase members only at 5:30 p.m. Eastern today. Melon alert. Melon alert.
That's what you pay for. Chicken Coop Express, aka Monetary Monorail. Thank you guys. Deborah was first, by the way. Flusha. KH. Flusha again, Georgia Peach. Kieran, thank you guys so much. Appreciate you. And yeah, we'll be back at 405 East.
Yeah, so make sure you're there. And remember, today's show is brought to you by Avelo Air. I don't know if that's how you say it, but that's the airline Mikey's going to be flying on to Florida. This is an airline, Creed, that used to be a casino airline. I'm learning more about it.
Oh, okay. All right. Avelo Airlines?
Yeah. So
AVELO.
Yeah.
There are a lot of it's an ultra low cost U.S. carrier headquartered
very low cost
in Houston, Texas. Previously operated charter flights as Casino Express Airlines. Interesting. Okay, yeah, almost like a private jet situation. Charter jets.
Yeah.
Okay, well, good luck with that.
That should be fun. That video alone is going to be worth the price of being a member around here. I'm telling you.
If we're still in business.
I know they only let you book out till October, so I'm just in that window, and hopefully they'll still be in business by then. If not, I'm having to go all the way down to Myrtle Beach and catch a Spirit airline or wherever it's going.
That's not too bad.
All right, guys, we love you. We'll see you again soon. Bye, bye. Never forget Captain Party Beard, Creed.
Captain Party Beard. He got kicked out of a lot of places.
But not that lady right there beside him. No,